Hey guys, it's Nick from This here. I've done prediction videos for both Conan the Barbarian and Ghostface now, speculating what they could be like in Mortal Kombat 1. Going over their attacks, finishers, gear, references, etc. Now, all that's left is T-1000, the liquid metal robot from the Terminator franchise. T-1000 is a fantastic villain in his movie and has some very interesting abilities. There's definitely a lot of potential for him to be a great inclusion in Mortal Kombat 1. I imagine T-1000's special moves will mostly be focused on his mimetic polyalloy abilities, aka liquid metal. He does use a gun, since he's impersonating a police officer, but since he has such a unique power, I doubt NetherRealm Studios will focus on his gun. Maybe as like one special move or a throw or brutality animation. Peacemaker is a character who uses a huge arsenal of guns, and NRS only gave him a pistol special move. The other guns he used only show up in his Fatal Blow and Fatality. T-1000 has potential for some creative attacks. I expect him to have a very traversal-based moveset. He'll be a quick character who can move around the stage at ease. For example, him melting into a puddle for a teleport move. A special move where he does his iconic run, maybe tackling the opponent to the ground. T-1000 can only form simple weapons like blades and blunt weapons on his own. He needs to touch more intricate weapons to be able to recreate them. So, I imagine his combos will mostly be arm blades and blunt weapons. T-1000 is extremely resilient and durable, and can even regenerate. If NetherRealm could find a way to balance a regeneration special attack, granting T-1000 a bit of his health back mid-match, that could be really cool. Also, T-1000 can apparently grow a second pair of limbs, as we see when he's piloting a helicopter. It's possible he could utilize this ability in MK1? Who knows, maybe we'll get a Goro-inspired command grab. His gear is the trickiest one for me to think of out of the new guests. Ghostface is his knife or mask, easy. Conan is his headband or sword, easy. What the hell do you customize on T-1000? He does wear a police helmet and sunglasses at one point in the movie, so maybe he'll have different headgears? However, it's not beneath NRS to make it something stupid like his badge, which I'm hoping not. Gearus got a small chest piece for his gear, and I barely ever noticed the difference. Maybe you'll be able to customize how his arm blades will look, different shapes and different colors even, or maybe his shirt will be his gear, and he'll have multiple outfits. I'm curious to see which direction NRS will take. I also hope he gets a pure silver palette or alternate costume that makes him look like pure liquid metal, as we see in the movie. Most of all, I'm interested to see how T-1000's Gore will look in-game. As of right now, the only fighter in-game with different colored blood is Reptile, but that will change when T-1000 is added. He's a robot, and a liquid metal one at that. Not exactly any guts or organs to rip out. NRS will most likely take a similar route to how they handled RoboCop and Terminator in Mortal Kombat 11, replacing organs with chunks of metal and machinery shaped similarly, and of course wires for guts. But T-1000's blood will be silver instead of black. I'm hoping T-1000's body reacts differently to fatalities than other characters, seeing as he's able to morph to any shape and even fit through prison bars. I'm not exactly sure what would be a good fatal blow for T-1000. Maybe it could utilize a blunt weapon. Something like he charges the opponent to the ground, tackling them, and bashing their chest to pieces with his giant metal fist. On to T-1000's finishers. Surprisingly, he has a lack of memorable kills from Terminator 2. Pretty disappointing considering he's a goddamn Terminator. A YouTuber by the name of Wolfpack Productions makes some really cool stop-motion videos showcasing finisher concepts, and he did one for T-1000 that I think is perfect. A good look into things to come. The two kills that come to mind when I think of T-1000 are the one where he's impersonating a woman and stabs his arm blade through the victim's mouth out the back of their head. It's pretty short, so if NRS adds this, I think it'll either be as a brutality, or they'll add more to it to match MK's over-the-top fatalities. The other kill that comes to mind is when T-1000 forms a sort of metal finger and pokes it right through the victim's head. So anticlimactic, but efficient. That's the thing about T-1000. He's a robot programmed to kill. His finisher should be more straightforward as opposed to flashy, as it would be more in character. A really cool fatality or brutality would be if the T-1000 slashes the opponent with his metal arm blade, turns into metal goo, enters the opponent's wound, and explodes them from the inside out. Kinda in the same vein as Reigns' MK9 fatality, but a lot less Looney Tunes looking. I also hope there's a brutality where T-1000 assumes the form of his victim after they drop dead. For T-1000's Animality, I originally thought of something gross and slimy like a big metal slug, but after doing some more research, I'm fairly confident his Animality will be a Terminator unit known as the T-Meg, which is basically a huge liquid metal Terminator spider. It'll do something like rip the opponent's limbs off with its multiple spider legs, or crush them in a web, or something like that. Robert Patrick is confirmed to be voicing T-1000 in-game. I'm wondering how he's going to sound, as I find his voice has changed quite a bit now that he's older, compared to when he was young playing T-1000.
Are you the legal guardian of John Connor?
Do you have a photograph of John?
He's a good-looking boy. Do you mind if I keep this picture? No. I wouldn't worry about him.
You need to breathe underwater, then this is the one for you. And, this one has x-ray vision. I didn't make these things while you were in prison. These are all from before. I never gave you a second thought while you were in there.
Not to mention, NRS has their work cut out for them writing dialogue, as he only has a few speaking lines in Terminator 2, and it's mostly because he's looking for John Connor. It's hard to write dialogue for a character with very little dialogue and personality. I imagine there'll be lots of references to Skynet, T-800, John Connor, and for the most part, he'll be a very cold, calculated character, not having a lot to say. Overall, those have been my predictions for T-1000 in Mortal Kombat 1. What are you hoping to see from him most of all? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, this has been Nickfamous. See you later.